Hi guys, GeekTruth64 here, and I'll always tell you the truth. Alright, today we're going to talk about something a little bit different than what I usually do on my channel. I usually talk about movies and TV shows. Movies in particular is what I enjoy the most. However, I do collect comic books, and I wanted to talk about Batman issue number 50 because it kind of has me angry along with a lot of other people because of the way it was handled. So I'm going to do kind of a review and talk about how this entire thing was botched from the beginning. So let's jump right into it. So, as I said, this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing a comic. I'm going to be talking about some of the interior art, some of the dialogue in it, how it was written, what set up to it, why people are angry about it, all that good stuff. So as I said, this review is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be standing here talking to you the whole time. I'm actually going to be pulling open the comic and looking at it, showing you some of the art, talking about it, talking about some of the dialogue, the way it was written, what set up and led to this in issue number 50 that was supposed to be Batman's wedding. And there was going to be some spoilers in this. If you planned on getting issue number 50 and you do not want to get spoiled, I recommend you do not watch this review because this is going to be filled with some spoilers. I also want to talk about what led up to this and why a lot of people are really angry about issue number 50 of Batman. Here we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, here is the cover for Batman issue number 50. I believe this is cover C, the Jim Lee cover, which I actually like the best. I love Jim Lee. I like the way he draws Batman. I think it's really awesome. And the cover is really good. And as you can tell, as I pull it out and take a look at it, part of what I'm so upset about is there's a lot of really great art in this issue. Okay, so you open it up, and they throw this guy named Kite Man. His name is Kite Man. They just throw him off a bridge, and they're talking about getting married. And there's a lot of these types of splash pages in the actual comic. They all look really good. I really like this one. This is by Garcia Lopez. This one's pretty good too. It kind of has like a Disney type of feel to it for me. You open it up, there's some more dialogue. I'm not going to go through every single thing and show you everything in it. There's some good splash pages in here. I love this splash page. It's really good. This one looks to be kind of like something from The Dark Knight Returns. I don't claim to be a comic book aficionado, but I do know a lot about comic books, at least compared to the average Joe. So, yeah, some really great splash pages. All this dialogue on here, this is basically Batman talking about what he likes about Catwoman, or loves about Catwoman. This is like what Catwoman loves about Batman. And throughout this entire issue, there's a lot of these splash pages with these different dialogues. So I guess they're fighting Kingpin here. Batman's fighting Kingpin. I don't know. I think he got lost and didn't realize he wasn't in the Daredevil comic. But yeah, so fighting Catwoman. There's another splash page. Some really good stuff. Again, this is a really good, some really good art. I do really like these splash pages. There they're talking. Another splash page. Again, really good stuff. I really like almost every single one of these splash pages. There's some really good art. Apparently Conan is going to be live at Comic-Con, so yeah, that's going to be a thing. They're talking, blah blah. Here's a big splash page for Superman #1 in a Batman book. Interesting. Here's another splash page. Again, some really good stuff here. I like this, kind of like Spider-Man-esque type. This looks like some really old style Batman, really old style Catwoman. It's good stuff. Here they're meeting. I don't know who drew these two pages, but they're awful. Look at Batman here. What in the world is wrong with him? What? He looks like a flat stick. I don't even... oh, this is awful. And then this. What is with her hands here? What kind of... Those are not womanly hands. What... I can't... What is that? It just looks disgusting. I hate it. Sorry if the artist is watching this. They're talking. This is... the background's really cool. But look at this. And you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they're having sex on a roof, I guess. I don't know. What is with this foot? What is his foot broken? What the heck is this? This is... What? Okay, whatever. Another splash page. Better art. I don't know what happened with those last couple. Some more advertisements. They're talking. This is kind of like a Bruce Timm looking style Catwoman. I really like it. Another splash page. He's riding a horse. Looks like something out of, again, Dark Knight Returns. They're talking, they're talking. Here's a splash page. Some really good stuff. So Catwoman just leaves. Okay, look. Let me talk about this real quick. So I'm just going to put this down and get back to my regular style of talking here. Alright, so as you can see, the art in this is actually really good, save for those couple things I talked about. So what's got people angry is that they've been hyping up this story for over a year now. Batman proposed to Catwoman, and they've been hyping this whole wedding up for over a year. A year, okay? And 2 to 3 days before it's released, they let New York Times do an article on Batman, issue number 50. And in the title of the article, it ruins the comic. This article in the New York Times, which was written on July 1st, so that was 3 days before the release of Batman issue number 50. The title is, "It Just Wasn't Meant to Be Batman." So in that simple title, you know that this wedding does not happen because it just wasn't meant to be Batman. So you ruin it in the title, okay? I don't even want to look at this article just because it's so stupid. Why would you put this in the title? God, this is so infuriating. Alright, so let's take a look at this article. A Val's features spoiled a comic book ending and you weren't happy. That's the title of this New York Times article. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. A feature article in our Val's section included the ending of Batman number 50. How should news organizations handle spoilers? Our journalists are available to answer your questions and respond to your feedback. Okay, so when they say that this was in their Val's section, my understanding was this article is actually in the wedding section of the New York Times. Let's scroll down real quick. Okay, so this article is by Leah Moore. What responsibility, if any, do journalists have not to spoil plots for our readers? What is the role of a headline or news alert for a story that contains such a secret? It goes on, blah, blah. Alright, we heard the criticism and we're hoping to open this up for a wider discussion with our readers. Do you have questions for George or Leanne Wilcox, an editor and Styles, about the feature of the head, blah, blah, blah. So basically basically this entire article is, oh yeah, we wrote this thing in a climax, we want to hear what you have to say. In the article, the title of your article says, "A Val's feature spoiled the comic book ending and you weren't happy." Yeah, we're obviously not happy. Why do we need to open a discussion? You already know you shouldn't have put it in there. Don't put it in there. This isn't rocket science. Jeez. But people are more upset about the fact that the wedding didn't happen, not because the wedding didn't happen, but because of false advertising. You said this is going to be the wedding issue. Well, it's not. So people who maybe pre-ordered this comic, for people uninitiated with comics, basically the way it works is the comic store orders a certain amount based on how many comics they think they're going to sell. And DC or other comic publishers incentivize more to be purchased so you can get variant issues. So if you order 10 issues of Batman number 50, you get a 1 in 10 variant, or a 1 in 25 if you order 25, or a 1 in 100. Marvel and DC, I think both have done. I know Marvel for sure with Spider-Man issue 800 did a 1 in 1,000 variant. So the comic store had to order 1,000 comics in order to get that one variant. So issue number 50, as a comic store owner, you're thinking, hey, this is going to be a good seller. People are going to want to get this. This is the wedding of Batman and Catwoman. They've been hyping this up. I'm going to order X amount, hundreds of comics probably. I'm going to get some variants. People are going to come in and they're going to want this thing, and I'm going to order this many because I think that's how many people are going to want. This New York Times article comes out and ruins it. So people who wanted to get this, not only did they have it spoiled, but they also found out that the wedding never happened. So they're basing getting this comic on this wedding happening. They want to see this, okay? They've been building this thing up. Now they're not delivering on it. Why? Because of a dumb reason. The whole reason why Catwoman leaves Batman at the altar, this is a big spoiler in case you do decide to read it, the whole reason Catwoman leaves Batman by himself on that roof is because he thinks that if Bruce Wayne is happy, if Batman is happy, Bruce Wayne can no longer be Batman, because Batman has to be damaged and unhappy in order to be Batman. That's just ridiculous. So the whole thing is that Bane orchestrated getting Batman and Catwoman together in order to break Batman mentally. Because we've already seen Bane break Batman physically by breaking his back. I guess this whole thing is a way to break him mentally. But don't hype this up as being what it's not. Don't hype this up as being a wedding issue. Don't get comic stores to buy all these issues thinking it's going to be a big event, and it's not. It's a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of nothing. It's a big waste. So, Batman issue number 50. Great art. Awful twist. False advertising by DC. It's insulting.
I know when I've been insulted. I know when I've been insulted.
I feel sorry for anybody who bought tons of issues of this thinking it was going to be something when it wasn't. This will go down in history as one of the worst marketing of a comic book probably ever. So I don't think I'll do too many more comic reviews. Every once in a while I may decide to do one. I don't know. I just really wanted to talk about this one because there's a lot of hype surrounding it, a lot of controversy surrounding it, and moving forward, I want to say this is the last time something like this is going to happen, but I don't think it will be. I think that this is the type of thing why I don't get comics all that much anymore, because they'll hype up these big events, and then they're just big letdowns that lead into other big events. That's the state of comics now.